Have you ever felt that sharing too much with your family sometimes does more harm than good? As we get older, there's a natural tendency to be open and honest with our loved ones, believing that full transparency is always the best approach. But the truth is, some things are better kept private. Not out of secrecy, but out of wisdom. Not everything needs to be shared, and in some cases, keeping certain matters to yourself can protect both your peace of mind and your relationships. In this video, we're diving deep into 5 things you may want to keep private after the age of 65. These insights aren't about deception or shutting people out, they're about maintaining independence, avoiding unnecessary stress, and ensuring that your personal boundaries are respected. You might be surprised by how much peace can come from holding back on a few key matters. Stay with me until the very end, because understanding these 5 things could transform the way you interact with your family, giving you more freedom and inner peace in your later years. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Financial decisions and assets. One of the most sensitive topics as we age is money. You might think that being completely open about your financial situation with family will prevent misunderstandings, but in reality, it often creates more problems than it solves. Sharing every detail about your savings, investments, or retirement plans can lead to unsolicited advice, pressure, or even conflicts, especially when different generations have different views on money. Some family members may mean well, but their concerns or opinions can start to feel like interference. And in some unfortunate cases, people who were once distant suddenly become very interested in your finances once they realize what you have. You may have seen this happen before. A friend or relative shares their financial plans with their children, only to find that every decision is questioned. Maybe you've seen someone deal with constant pressure about how they should spend their money, being told to downsize, invest differently, or save more for the grandchildren. The problem is, once you let people in on your full financial picture, you can't take that knowledge back. Maintaining personal control is crucial. If your family starts seeing you as someone who needs financial guidance, they might feel justified in stepping in, sometimes with good intentions, but not always in ways that respect your independence. This doesn't mean you should never talk about finances with your family. It's wise to have clear estate plans and communicate necessary details when the time is right. But you don't have to share everything. The exact amount of money you have, what you spend on yourself, or whether you've made a new investment, these are your choices. Keeping some financial matters private isn't secrecy, it's wisdom. Number 2. Health concerns that are not urgent. As we age, it's natural to experience more health issues. And sometimes, we feel the urge to share every little ache and pain with family. After all, they care about us, and we want them to know what's going on. But constantly sharing every minor health concern can sometimes create unnecessary worry, stress, or even lead family members to start making decisions for you before it's necessary. You may have mentioned a small issue, like joint pain or fatigue, only to find yourself in the middle of a debate about whether you should see a doctor, change your diet, or take a new supplement. Family members mean well, but their concern can quickly turn into pressure. There's also a psychological aspect to this. If you constantly talk about your health, even the minor issues, your family may begin to see you as more fragile than you really are. Once people start treating you differently, it can be difficult to change their perception. Suddenly, they're questioning your ability to travel, suggesting you need extra help, or limiting your independence, all because you casually mentioned your knees were aching. Of course, major health concerns should be communicated, especially if they impact daily life or require family support. But choosing to keep minor issues to yourself allows you to protect your autonomy. Sometimes, silence is the best way to maintain control over your well-being. Number 3. Your true thoughts on family conflicts. Family dynamics can be complicated. As we age, we often find ourselves caught in situations we never asked to be part of: siblings arguing over an inheritance, adult children holding grudges, or extended family members who just can't seem to get along. It's tempting to step in, offer advice, or share exactly what we think about who's right and who's wrong. But more often than not, doing so only adds fuel to the fire. Perhaps you've tried mediating a dispute, only to find that both sides suddenly turn against you. Or you offered an opinion, thinking you were helping, only to realize later that your words were taken the wrong way. Family conflicts tend to sort themselves out, or not, regardless of your input. And when people finally do move on, they tend to remember what was said in the heat of the moment. Instead of getting involved, sometimes the best response is simply, "I hope things work out for the best," or "I trust you'll make the right decision." This allows you to stay connected without being pulled into drama that isn't yours to fix. Number 4. Regrets about the past. As the years go by, it's natural to reflect on the past, on choices made, opportunities missed, and paths not taken. But that doesn't mean every regret needs to be shared, especially with family. When parents or grandparents express regret about the past, children often take it personally. If you say you wish you had worked less and spent more time with family, your children might hear, "I wasn't a good enough parent." If you regret not pursuing a different career, they might take it as an indirect way of saying your life with them wasn't fulfilling. Some regrets are best kept to yourself. It's okay to process them, learn from them, and even make peace with them. But dwelling on them in front of family doesn't change what's already happened, it only places a burden on those who love you. Number 5. The full extent of your financial situation. Money is one of the most complicated topics in any family. It can bring people together, but it can also create tension and misunderstandings. While there are times when it makes sense to discuss certain financial matters, being too open about money can sometimes do more harm than good. The biggest risk of revealing too much about your finances is that it can change how people treat you. If your family knows you have a comfortable amount saved, some relatives may start expecting financial help. On the other hand, if you reveal financial struggles, they may worry too much or even question your decisions. Your finances are yours to manage, and keeping some details private ensures that your relationships remain built on love and respect rather than financial expectations. As we wrap up this conversation, take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed. Keeping certain things private isn't about creating distance, it's about protecting your peace, your dignity, and the quality of your relationships. Think about your own life. Have you ever shared something with family only to regret it later? Or maybe you held back and later realized it was the right choice. With wisdom comes clarity, and as we grow older, we learn that some things are best left unsaid, not out of secrecy, but out of self-respect. The beauty of aging is realizing that your happiness, independence, and relationships are shaped by the choices you make today. Be intentional with what you share, and remember, protecting your inner peace is not selfish, it's necessary. Now, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one insight that resonated with you the most. Which of these 5 things do you believe is the most important to keep private? Your thoughts could help someone else going through a similar situation. And if this video gave you a fresh perspective, do me a favor. Hit that like button to let me know you're here. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. You never know whose life you might change today. Thank you for watching. Stay wise, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next video.